Welcome. My name is Sarita Brown. I'm president of Excelencia in Education, and on behalf of everyone who has worked to make this evening's event possible, bienvenidos. This is the 5th annual Celebración de Excelencia. It is a festive event, it is a moment of recognition, and it is all predicated on the belief that the growth of the Latino community is an asset for America, that the capacity for all of us to succeed remains as bright and true as ever, and that the information that we will exchange, the achievement that we will recognize, and the promise that we will make each other, that not only will we gather again next year and the years to come as the numbers grow, but that together we will ensure that Latino students and all students have the resources that they need, the learning environment to succeed, and the capacity born of our commitment to them to contribute to our society as we go forward.
We're doing the hard work of making sure that our voices and the interests of our communities and our kids are heard. And I'm just delighted to know that there's so many more that are joining us in this effort.
We come together these couple of days to talk about what is our future and our number one priority, and that it is a civil rights for us. Because just as Sarita Brown came to our state and inspired many, certainly inspired me to continue higher and to see so many educators being honored today.
For the first time, Congress has provided $1 billion. Yes, B as in boy. The government has provided $1 billion for Hispanic-serving institutions over the next decade to boost the academic achievement of Latinos in the field of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, known as STEM. Targeted federal funding of $2.55 billion for Title V and Title III programs over this next 10 years will strengthen the capacity of HSIs, of HBCUs, and other minority-serving institutions to better serve women and minorities in the STEM fields. Think about it. Today we get from the Department of Education $127 million a year. With this, it adds $100 million on top of that for the next 10 years, making it $237 million, thus helping us to now recruit and not only encourage our students to go to community colleges, but to go to four-year universities, earn a bachelor's, and go on to get a master's, and go on to get a doctoral degree. That, my friends, is, I think, a great, great accomplishment.
We are proud to partner with Excelencia and look forward to our continued collaboration as we help address what is at stake. Nothing less than the well-being of our young people and the long-term economic vitality of our nation.
You will be able to track the future of the United States of America by tracking the future of our Latino students and how well they are succeeding. 25% of this year's kindergarten students are Latino. That number is projected to grow and grow every year. This country cannot succeed by any measure you can name, not in this world, by wasting the talents of 20 or 30 or 40% of its future.
Lumina Foundation recognizes, as Excelencia has articulated, that institutional leadership matters. High-quality academic support matters. And intentional community engagement matters. The institutions on this platform embody all of those elements and many more.
Our example of Excelencia for 2010 at the associate level. The program is Carreras en Salud, Careers in Health, at the Wilbur Wright College, Humboldt Park Vocational Educational Center in Chicago, Illinois. For students enrolled in the program, they have a 94% completion rate. They have a 95% licensing certification rate, nearly 100% placement rate for LPN and CNA graduates, and on average, graduates receive a wage gain of 150%.
We are the ones at the trenches. We're the ones back home And sometimes when we get to Washington, we just forget about what's happening over there. And we tend not to recognize how difficult it is also for you at the national level. Our ambitions must be broad enough to include the aspirations and needs of others for their sakes and for our own. Thank you.
The second example of Excelencia for 2010 is a program that focuses on retention of a vulnerable population and has evidence of effectiveness of making a difference. And that's the College Assistant Migrant Program, CAMP program, that's at California State University, San Marcos, California. Their students are retained at a higher rate than the California State University system overall. They're able to retain 80% or more of their population annually, which is a very high retention rate. And they compared to the CSU system where only 70% of its freshman population are retained.
It's my honor to be here today to accept this award on behalf of Cal State San Marcos, the College Assistant Migrant Program. We service the students who are higher risk than even any other Latino population. They're children of migrant workers, often moving from area to area, disrupting their education from elementary to middle school to high school. Our students, predominantly, over 80% of them need remedial courses, math and English, in order to get on par with the rest of the student population at Cal State San Marcos. It is my honor to accept this award from Excelencia, and I thank you for recognizing us.
The third program, an example of Excelencia, is a program that is preparing the new generation of academic and faith leaders in our country. And that's the Hispanic Theological Initiative at the Princeton Theological Seminary. They've awarded 77 master's degrees, 255 doctoral fellowships, and 10 postdoctoral fellowships. They've supported 48 master fellows, 68 PhD fellows in completing their doctorates, and have an average time of degree of 5 years.
Just briefly, since you've heard our stats, I want to say about effectiveness, that today representing us, and you've nominated them, is Dean Elizabeth Conde Frazier for Esperanza College, and she's one of the graduates of the HTI program, and she's just one of the many examples of individuals serving the community.
We are really focused on the student, right, and the family. And so what we want to do is we wanted to partner not only with Excelencia, but we wanted to partner with Univision. We want a degree in every Latino household in this country. You put one degree in a household, what happens? The rest of the family starts to go, right? So somos unidos. It's like the family will start to understand one another. And in 2 generations, we anticipate that we can move the finish line that is now generally perceived as the high school finish line to the college level.
Right now, we have a job crisis. We have a high number of Latinos, especially our youth, that are unemployed. And the biggest question I get from employers is, I can't find people who are trained. I can't find people who have good education and certification and meet our standards. Well, I don't agree with that. I think we can begin to build upon that, and that's why we are spending $500 million in renewable and green energy, training programs across the country in collaboration with community-based groups, with public and private universities, community colleges, to get our community involved in a career pattern. I know the Wilbur Wright College, the Humboldt Park Vocational Education Center, Cal State University San Marcos, Princeton Theology Seminar, all of these are wonderful institutions that are a part of this program. And I hope that we can expand this effort and that we get more corporate sponsors and that we also not forget about those DREAM Act students. So I can tell you without a doubt that it is for our economic security and for the benefit of this country and for our livelihoods that we invest in education for all Latino children, both men and women. So thank you very much. Muchas gracias. It's a pleasure to be here.